Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti. Website at the top here is usgamesinc.com, if I can hold it still. Feel free to freeze frame and check out the spelling if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards. Spellcasting Oracle cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lisbeth. There's the full spellings of their names. There's websites on the back here for them. SheWhoIsArt.com always pops out to me, but there's a couple others. Feel free to freeze frame and check out whatever you would like, of course. All right. Gemini. Very interesting. Okay, you already won it. Okay. Somebody's messing with you. You already won it. I keep getting that you already won it, but there's something that's a little bit off color here. You already won it, but do you not realize you won it? You got the Five of Pentacles, Five of Coins, Five of Earth. Feeling like you're missing out on something. I feel like I'm missing out. That's what I keep getting. Thing is, Judgment already went in your favor. I feel like somebody's trying to hold you back from something. Something that's already yours that you don't realize you already have claim to. This person, they're perceived to have more power than they actually do. Thing is with Gemini, you guys can see all the angles. You can see a bunch of angles, and I almost feel like immediately after I said see all the angles, I almost feel like immediately you'd be like, well, I can see most of the angles. There's always new angles showing up, but you know what I mean. Somebody is messing with you. I keep getting like somebody is making you feel like maybe you're blocked from something, or they're hiding something from you, something that's already yours. Can we get a little bit more about what's already yours? Four of Cups reversed, the Hierophant on its side, Judgment in your favor, and Talent. Now for this reading, when I see the word talent, it's going to come in a little bit obscure, because to me it's like something that it's just yours. Like when somebody's born with talent, they just have a natural ability for something. They can make it better, they can capitalize on it, or they can let it go dormant. But it's something that's already there. And I keep getting that with talent here. Like, this is already there. This is already yours. Judgment's already in your favor. Hierophant on its side is telling me it maybe hasn't been utilized very much. Four of Cups reversed is probably somebody else making you maybe feel like it's not yours, or it's not meant for you, or something like that. It almost like, I feel like there's a little bit of gaslighting possibly going on here. Maybe you can sing, but people treat you as if you can't because of their jealousy, or just they don't want to be bothered with it, so they just, or it could be, if we're going to use the singing analogy for whatever reason, maybe you can sing, but the way you sing is not whoever you deal with, it's not their cup of tea. Like, I can't think of somebody, like, who has this, like, for example, Cher. Let's just use Cher as an example. I think she has a great voice. Some people just don't care for it. They just don't care for the way she sounds, which is fine. I've even heard people say that they don't think she can sing, and I was like, you really don't think she can sing? Which made me question them. I'm like, are you okay? Because I think she can. I love the way she sounds. But when I'm seeing this, like, somebody might have treated you as if you can't do something, but they just don't like the way that you do it, even though there may be a lot of other people who do. You do already have something. There's something here you already have. You already have it together. It's almost like you might have like this war in your brain, like you know you can do it, but you keep playing it down as if you can't, and maybe people have gaslighted you to make you feel like you can't do something that you actually can. It's one of those weird things. This sometimes happens at work a lot, maybe with Gemini, I don't know for sure, but like where people kind of treat you like you're less than, but you're actually quite sharp and quite intellectual. They may not understand you. Doesn't mean you're not intelligent. I feel like Gemini ends up in that trap a lot, that you are very intelligent, but if people can't keep up with the way you speak or the way you talk, instead of realizing that you're just talking beyond them, they instead decide that you're not very intelligent, that you're all over the place, you don't know what you're talking about. Geminis tend to have a lot of thoughts, and sometimes I feel like when Geminis speak, if you don't know, if you don't understand their language and the way that they'll jump forward on a conversation just assuming you understand, you may not even realize that you've jumped forward. They'll just think that you're missing pieces, not the fact that you just kind of move forward because kind of like you already understand that. Why would I talk about that type of thing? I feel like Geminis are misunderstood a lot. I feel like that happens a lot. So I say the gaslighting thing, and I do feel like they're making you feel like you can't do something that you can. They might truly have gaslighted themselves and believe that you can't do something that you actually can. So they might actually believe what they're saying is true, just to be fair. So they might have gaslighted themselves into the same lie, which I guess is a thing. Anyway, all right, so that's the thing. How do you find what it is? How do you get what it is? How do you capitalize on what it is? Ten of Pentacles, halfway in, halfway out. You got to rebuild your structure. The Strength is telling me you gotta deconstruct the lies. You can be your worst enemy. I'm using the singing analogy again. I feel like for people who can sing, and I'm not saying I am one of those people. I probably am not. Probably am not. But if you believe you can't do it, I feel like you're going to prove it to yourself that you can't do it. It becomes a thing. So you have to rebuild your confidence. Whatever this is, it doesn't have to be singing, it's just an analogy. You might have to do it more privately to yourself. You might have to give yourself a chance to really believe in yourself again. You might have to do it off on your own in a place where nobody else can judge you. It's just you just rediscovering who you are and what you can do. It's you reconnecting to that true power of yours. Because it's kind of like you have the Page of Cups coming in, but you're capable of the Ace of Cups. If you look at the size of the cup, is there a cup on there? If you look at the size of the cup on the Page of Cups, it's very small. It's right there. If you see the size it's supposed to be huge. It's supposed to take up the whole card. So it's kind of like taking that small cup and re-enlarging it, refilling it to the level it should be. That might be some private moments for you where you have to like reconnect with that true essence of you. In fact, this might be something that you wanted to do, but maybe people have made you believe you can't do. If we're going to step away from the singing analogy, maybe this is a business thing. People have made you believe that you couldn't handle a business on your own. You couldn't run a business on your own. You probably can. You just have to create your own structure, and you know what it's going to take. You just got to create that plan. You got to create the structure that works for you. It's like looking at all the possibilities. Like this is the Seven of Cups. There's all these possibilities. What do you really want? Reconnecting to that energy and then developing it and experimenting with it on your terms by yourself for a little while. Just believing in yourself and having that private time where nobody else is going to work against you. You may have some structure around you where you have people around you who believe in you, but make sure that they're people who believe in you without question. They're just like, you want to try this, you want to do it on your own. They believe in you, they'll look out for you, but they're like, you could possibly do that, let's find out. And like also realizing it may take you a few months to really pull that back together to bring it back to a level to where you can believe in yourself again. What will get you there, if that's the case, what will get you there is the passion that you want to do it. Allow yourself to be guided by your passion. Ironically, the Hermit card for you, it can be a little bit unnerving because sometimes the Hermit can be criticizing, can be critical. Especially if this is introspection, which the Hermit is known for introspection. If you're very critical with yourself, be careful with that. Critiquing yourself is okay. Criticizing yourself, if I'm understanding that term correctly, that can be a little bit more damaging. You want to critique in the sense of like, that didn't work out the best, but critique is kind of like, but if I do it this way, or if I put a little more effort into it, I can bring it up to that level I want. The side, I don't know if I'm using the right word with criticize, because like if you criticize yourself, the version I'm seeing it play it out as is like, instead of going critiquing and like, that didn't work out the best, I can bring it up to here, this is what I need to do to bring it up to here. Criticize would be, That didn't work out the best, and apparently I can't do it, so why am I bothering? That's the difference between critique and criticize in my brain. I could be using those words wrong. Words wrong, look in the comments because I'm sure somebody will point it out if I am. But like critique is like, I can improve, I just need to do this a little better. Criticize, the way I'm feeling it, again, I could be wrong, is like, nope, can't do it, I suck, why am I bothering? Be careful with that going forward. Empower yourself, don't limit yourself. Because whatever this is, you have it. It can come forward. Opportunities are going to come forward for this possibility. The Wheel of Fortune will be showing up fairly soon. If this is coming towards you, if this reading is clicking with you, they're saying, don't worry about it. It'll come forward in its right time. Just start following your passion. It will link up like it needs to. Exactly where it's showing, I don't know, but it is showing up. They're also saying this is something that's better. This is something that is better for you to do. I want to say life purpose, like you should be doing this either way, but I have seen it where people... How do I put this? So if I'm going to use myself as an example, I could have ignored the whole psychic thing if I wanted to and just pretended it wasn't there with the whole card thing. I could have just walked away from it. I do believe that I should be doing this. I do. I believe it's part of my life purpose to do this type of stuff. I could have walked away from it. It would have left kind of like an empty part in my life. I would have felt like something was missing, but I could have done that. It's kind of how I'm looking at it. This is kind of similar in this situation. You can walk away from this if you decide not to build on it. It won't show up because this is something where your passion is necessary. If you can't bring forth the passion, if you don't bring forth that connection, it won't show up on its own. It's got to be re-engaged. It has to be revitalized. This might be a reading in the sense of like maybe it was supposed to be there anyway, but there's been some things or possibly some gaslighting where you don't believe you can do it. If you don't believe you can do it, you won't even go towards it. So it's kind of like we need to reinvigorate this path, revitalize this path, so that way when the opportunity shows up, you'll engage with it. If you don't engage with it and connect to your passion, it won't ignite. It's kind of like one of those things where, yeah, it's supposed to happen anyway, but you do have the ability, like free will is a real thing. You could shut it down and just not choose it because you don't believe it's for you, and you could walk away from it. If you do keep going forward to it, you will link up with it. It's very interesting because what will happen is it'll come in an ebb and flow. If you do really relink up with this path and it does come in for you, you will get bonded with it with the Four of Wands, but I feel like you'll kind of fade in and out with it a little bit more, a little bit less. It'll kind of go in and out. And the way I see it going back and forth is kind of like the Eight of Cups is kind of like going like more internal with it, going external with it, going internal with it, going external with it. So the Eight of Cups isn't like you completely walking away from what works and just abandoning it totally. But it might be like, I find this opportunity, I like this opportunity for a little bit, but then it starts feeling off and I don't want it anymore. So I kind of like, I let it go. I keep developing it personally on my own, but then a different opportunity comes forward and I keep coming back in and out and back in and out. I feel like that's where it's going to go. I feel like at some point you'll have to make a choice. The Nine of Wands is kind of like, at some point I'm just gonna commit to it and I'm gonna get what I want. A wish will be fulfilled. It does feel like that's kind of how this is. The Star card I don't always see as a wish card, but I do feel like this is kind of like connecting to the divine purpose again, life purpose, realizing that this is what I do want. At some point I'll stop going in and out, in and out, in and out, and I'll just anchor to in. And then that's when you'll be at peace with this subject. Are we good? That's it. That's it. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.